Just want to get a little bit of feedback from you. So just kind of a general question. I mean, why FPG over? I mean, because there's plenty of training options out there. I mean, why was FPG the training choice that you guys decided?
Yeah, I think the main thing is the ongoing training. You know, as we said before, we did the Jeff Shore deal, and it's great, but you learn so much in a span of 2 or 3 days, and you know, secondly, it's always evolving. I mean, just like this whole coronavirus deal, right? Like Jason said before, how we're selling today was different than what we were doing 6 weeks ago, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the ongoing aspect is a big deal. And I'll tell you this, if you ever think you got it all figured out, that you've seen it all, you've never seen it all. I mean, and that applies to customers. I mean, there's something different every time. I've built 400 homes now. I tell people every time I built 400 homes, I learn something new every time I build a house. Every house I do, I learn something new. Now, whether that be something I learned about the homeowner or whether I learned it about the house, that's debatable sometimes, but I learn something new every time. So you constantly have to adapt to be successful. It's not just this easy formula of X, Y equals Z, you know. It's always adapting, and you got to be adapting yourself, and you got to be learning. I mean, I think that as people, I hope I'm a better person than I was 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago. And I think that goes back to learning along the way. And I think that I saw we were doing decorating, and there was a really neat, I hadn't heard it before. It's probably been out there for a long time, but it was a piece of wall art. And it said, people won't remember what you said or what you did. They will remember how they made you feel. And that's a great point. Like, you know, I've made mistakes, you know. Have I said something to my wife that was inappropriate over the years? Did I make her feel bad? Did I, you know? Yep, I have. And it isn't about what you said necessarily, but how did you make them feel, right? And even I think with marriage counseling and things like that, like, how do you make someone else feel? So I kind of think that's all what it's about. And when you come in, I mean, you can apply that directly to sales. Somebody comes in off the street, what's going to get them to buy? How they feel. How are you going to make them feel about it? You know? Yeah. And again, there's no secret recipe. I think it's always changing. So.
Yeah.